Evet arkadaşlar, bu akşamki SRG toplantımıza hoş geldiniz. Bu akşamki seminerde konuşmacımız Doğan Kesdoğan hocamız. Almanya'dan bize katılıyor kendisi. Doğan hocamız şu anda Regensburg Üniversitesi'nde IT Security bölümünün başkanı. 2013 yılından beri bu üniversitede çalışıyor kendisi. Ondan önce Segen Üniversitesi'nde çalışmıştı. Ve daha önceki kariyerinde de Amerika'da IBM TJ Watson'da ve bir süre Norveç'te Norveç Teknik Üniversitesi'nde çalıştı kendisi. E, Doğan Kesdoğan hocamız uygulamalı güvenlik konularında özelleşiyor. Kendisi 94 yılında Aachen'dan mezun oldu. Yüksek lisans derecesiyle. 99'da doktorasını ve 2008'de de habilitasyon derecesini aldı aynı üniversiteden. Şimdi de dediğim gibi Regensburg Üniversitesi'nde profesör ve bölüm başkanı olarak çalışıyor. Doğan Hocam, katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz. Sağ olun.
Ben teşekkür ederim.
Ben sözü size bırakıyorum.
Sağ olun, teşekkürler. Merhaba arkadaşlar. So I will just switch to English if it's okay with you.
Yeah, it's fine. Perfect.
So yeah, the point is just some terms are not familiar with me, even though uh, so English would be or German would be my mother tongue.
But the
However,
audience is free to ask questions in Turkish, I believe.
exactly. So we can just discuss in Turkish, and I can also maybe tell something also in Turkish. So I can speak Turkish. That's not a problem.
Thank you.
So where is Regensburg at first? So just showing you, it is north of Munich, and it is just 1 hour driving with a car. It's 100 kilometer north of Munich. It's middle of the Europe, as you see. It is near to Czechia and Austria. And the Regensburg city is really nice city. It is just a cozy Roman city, old city. And the river you see here is Donau, Tuna Nehri. And it is a medieval city. And it was not destroyed in the World War II. If you have had the chance to come to Germany, you will see many cities in Germany that are destroyed in the World War II, but not Regensburg. Therefore, it is a UNESCO World Heritage City. Okay, so this is the city, and this is our campus university. As you know, campus universities have some benefits. You are near to all people, to all faculties. So there are some pictures of our university. The campus university is really close to the city. Okay, this is an old picture of my group. I have not found a newer picture, but this will be the kind of group that I would like to have also in the future. But we will talk after the talk about that, because I'm looking also for more PhD students and also postdoc students. Okay, most of the time, so most of the students, I just can support them because we are involved in projects. These are some of the old projects that we had. Some of them are European projects. Some of them are German projects, and we are covering a lot of security areas like intrusion detection, but also some identity management and other things. So we are building really systems, also working on mobile systems like GSM network in the former time. Now it is, of course, newer mobile systems that we are working on. So one of the most important part that we are doing is, of course, internet. And what I'm talking today is privacy. Well, if you go to privacy, right, then, but I'm too fast. So my talk is divided in 3 parts. The part 1 is the technical anonymity. This is the bedrock of privacy. Then I will go to part 2, and it is maybe a little bit unusual, but I will go go with you to a short trip to Venice. And part 3 will be about provable anonymity. Well, let's just start with part 1. And if we talk about privacy and anonymity, then you will have 2 basic building blocks. Maybe you will see my mouse here. And 2 basic building blocks that are the most important parts of privacy, the network privacy, I mean. The first thing is the anonymous network. And this is suggested by Chaum. Chaum suggested the mixed network, and many works have been done until he has suggested it. He has suggested in, as you see here down, in 1981. In 1981, of course, there was no World Wide Web, and the internet was really different. Therefore, he has suggested for email system, and the email had some thousands of users using the email system, and it was easy to suggest anonymity network for such amount of users. But the situation is, of course, different. We have billions of users or millions of users that would like to use maybe the anonymity network. Therefore, we have to change it, and you will find a lot of papers in the area of anonymity network. And you need also a second part, and this is as demonstrated with this mask. And this is communicating with an identity that you will choose. So if Alice wants to buy something from a shopping.com, well, she will use a mask and use the Chaum's anonymity network. So for the first example, and can buy something anonymously. Why this mask? The identity management mask gives some guarantees about accountability for the shopping.com. And for the shopping.com or for Alice, we need such software in Alice computer, and this is the trusted privacy agent. So these are the 2 parts of the privacy. Okay, and the second part, the credentials. Chaum has suggested it in 88 with the name blind signatures. Okay, well, it was not realized as this suggestion, right? So it was not possible to realize it as Chaum has suggested it. So, but we have to take the security models, the attacker models of Chaum, and discuss all the things for the newer suggestions. The first thing is the attacker model is Dolev-Yao model, and you know Dolev-Yao model, maybe it is saying that the network is insecure and the used crypto is secure. And communications partners are usually not trustworthy. So these are the attacker model, and we will keep this attacker model in our mind. Okay. So the first suggestion that you may know is the Tor network. Maybe you use also the Tor network, and the Tor network, the abbreviation Tor is the onion routing. So it was suggested from Paul Syverson at 96. And I have also suggested it at the same time. Similar suggestion like Tor. And you see here anonymous routers, but not the Chaum original work. So what is the Tor network? The Tor network is the Tor network you can be used by web browsing. It is not asynchronous communication, it's a really synchronous communication. And my inspiration for the Tor network, or not for the Tor network, but a similar suggestion, was James Bond. As if you go to GoldenEye, see the film, you will have also in the film such a scene where the bad guy uses some technique like this Tor technique. But as I saw this GoldenEye film, it was clear for me it was a lightweight mix protocol. So you have to take the Chaum mix protocol and put it in more applicable applicable and make it applicable to the internet, to the World Wide Web. And it was possible. And Paul Syverson, he is working for the naval, so military research in the United States. And they have had the same suggestion in the same year, and they built them. They built it. But and they were really successful. And as you see here, some statistics about the Tor network from 2015, and you will maybe find more or newer statistics about the Tor network. And as you see, there are a lot of users from USA, but also Germany. This is Deutschland, Germany, France, but also Turkey is in this here, Greece and Turkey. And you see also Egypt and Israel and Saudi Arabia and whatever. And at the time of Arab Spring, it was 2010-11, the usage of this Tor network was much higher in Egypt and also in the Arab area. Okay, so this is so it was really useful at that time for the Arab Springtime, but in general we have a problem. So we can discuss about the Tor protocol, because Tor is running and many works are there, but the works are mostly on the side of how to harden the protocol in the internet, because you can find some implementation problems, and also how to use it in the internet. And if you go to this area, we have to ask ourselves, how is the internet perceived? So how is the anonymity in the internet is perceived by the public? Well, usually in the public, we have this strategy of nothing to hide. So some people say, so you will anyway lose your privacy, but so just accept it. But as you see also from the statistics, there are many people using it. Therefore, the attitude of Western democracies is really ambivalent. On the one side, they see the danger of Tor because of dark web. You may have heard about that, or drug dealers and cyber criminals. But on the other side, it supports also dissidents and journalists in totalitarian states, and also in case of Arab Spring, it was really heavily used there. So, and if you just look at this, who is tracking? Of course, government and businesses are interested on the metadata of the Tor. So this is the case of anonymity with Tor, and we have to ask ourselves, what is the solution to that? The solution is not only technical, and the question is how to extend Tor or Tor-like anonymity networks. And this is one of, I think, the future directions of research. And therefore, I'm coming to the second part of my talk. And I will just give you an example. So, but we can just say the social cultural acceptance is at the moment low. But on the other hand, we are we are saying that anonymity is the foundation of liberal democracy because it gives you some freedom. Okay, so but the problem is how to extend or what is missing with Tor. And we are going to the ancient Venice time till 1798. And I'm just repeating something from a publication from Wiele. And he has published it in the Mask of Honorable Citizen. And in Germany, you will find a German PhD about this topic. And it goes like that it says in the medieval time, if you look at Venice, you have an island, and this is really the island of the 17th century. And as you see in such a small city, it was really hard to be private. So you had there no privacy, so no anonymity at that time. And the Venetian people had solved this problem like that. But first, I would like to just that you have this picture in your mind, and I repeat what the suggestion was. So the suggestion was that the people could wear this kind of full body costumes. This costume, Bauta and Tabarro, it is a name, you could wear or buy it everywhere in the city. The city was an international, at that time, and multicultural trading city. And because I have to wrap up, because of that they had no privacy, many citizens knew each other, and it was not good for the business, for meetings and also friends and whatever, that they had no privacy. So they had to do something to be anonymous. So they have invented this standardized mask that were easily available. And it was also accepted by the Venetian state inquisition. And what was the features of it? So it was easily available, and the point was the people were anonymous if they were something like that, but if they behave wrong, they were directly unmasked. So you could unmask quite easily if some worst comes to the worst. So if something bad happened, they had the technique that the technique was really simple. You could go and just say, take your mask away, something like that. All right. On the other hand, they had the culture that the mask wearers in Venice kept their good manners. Everyone who used this mask, they were really more gentle than the usual normal people, because you have also the danger of being identified, right? So this mutual acceptance of on the one hand, wearing a mask, on the other hand, being gentle, had a normative effect by creating a social context. Yeah. So it is, you can find it also in the PhD work. It was really rare event that the people wearing this mask and Bauta and Tabarro placed them outside the society. So they were a really integrated member, and it was a behavior, their behavior was also legally protected. And I think we have to learn many things from the Venice time. Maybe we have to read more about their culture and maybe find ideas how to keep or how to bring this culture in our internet, maybe with Tor. So this is the problem of the usage of Tor is not fully accepted, but we need research to extend the idea of the Tor to bring it that everyone can use it. Well, I'm going to the next part, to provable anonymity. I will ask first, how secure is Tor? And how to extend Tor that it provides more security. And I just have written one sentence of Jack Stern. He briefly says that it is really hard to provide or prove security, also in the area of cryptography, because if you apply, so if you build a model and if you have an algorithm, this is the first step, of course. But if you apply it in the real world, then you will see many problems. And now we go in that direction. So just start with, how secure is Tor? So this is, as told, this is a lightweight mixed protocol. And I will also repeat the mixed protocol after this slide. But first, this Tor security consideration. And as demonstrated here, this is the internet. This is, so Alice using the Tor technique with several Tor nuts, and they are in all, so distributed all over the internet, all over the world. So maybe this is in Brazil, and this may be in Europe, and this may be in Australia, for instance. So this kind of crypto technique provides, of course, a practical security. If Alice uses the Tor and goes shopping by using the Tor, shopping.com will not know who is communicating, right? Tor Alice identity is protected. How secure is this? Well, it provides practical security. It is difficult to track the behavior of the internet, but if you just go a little bit in the area of theory and just take in account the Dolev-Yao model, then you will see directly Tor is proven to be insecure against the Dolev-Yao model. Why? Because Dolev-Yao model says the network is insecure and the attacker could be everywhere here. Even though the Tor nuts are trusted, and Alice and Shopping.com also are trusted, but the network is untrusted and the attacker could be everywhere. So the attacker could observe Alice sending a message to the first Tor, and this will be forwarded to the second, or to the second Tor, and this will be forwarded to the third Tor, and then finally to the Shopping.com. So because of the traffic observation of Alice and the timing relation of the traffic here, the attacker of the kind of Dolev-Yao model just can observe that Alice is communicating with shopping.com, and there is no anonymity against Dole Fiao model. Well, but it provides some anonymity, but a better security evaluation is very difficult, and I will not go in that direction because you have to assume a more weaker attacker model, and if you assume a more weaker attacker model, then it is a mess to evaluate the kind of such protocol. And I do not know any at the moment good evaluation of such scenario. So going back to Chaum. Chaum has suggested in 81, and as at that time the internet was small, so the World Wide Web was not invented at that time. And I will start with the basic idea of Chaum's mix. And it was like that. Chaum has suggested this kind of protocol. So Chaum has suggested a protocol called mix. And the protocol is that mix collects a number of messages. In this system, mix has already collected 4 messages, 1, 2, 3, 4, not from Alice, from different people. So, and if Alice sends the 5th message, right? So then, and if this mix provides a k anonymity with k equal to 5, right? I use this k anonymity even though Chaum has used different language there, but most people are really familiar with the k anonymity terminology. Therefore, just go further with k anonymity. So if k anonymity is 5, that means 4 messages are collected in the mix, and the 5th message is coming from Alice. Then the mix decrypts it, change the order of the messages, and forwards it. And as you see here, this is the blinking because Alice sends the message, the last message, but the ordering has changed. And therefore, it is the 3rd message. I'm just showing you that in this case, as an example, for the sake of simplicity, of course, it is the 3rd message that is the message of Alice. So the order of the message, so the input order and the output order has changed. So there is no timing relation. There is also encryption and decryption, what is running here. I will show it in 1 minute. And it is also guaranteed that each message should send from different users. So one message is from Alice, and these other messages are from different persons. This has to be also ensured, because if Alice sends all the messages, then it is the same scenario like Tor, right? So this has to be different messages from different users. And if this is forwarded, then the anonymity is, then we can guarantee k anonymity. And the attacker observing input and output here cannot say which message, so we are looking for the Alice message, is in this, so which is the message of Alice. So the anonymity set, I would say, it is, so the message of Alice is hidden in the set of the total forwarded message from the mix. Okay, so that's it. That's the idea of Chaum. And as you see, it is an asynchronous communication. Asynchronous communication means you get the mix has to wait until it gets or it receives enough messages. Enough means here 5 from distinct users, and then it starts forwarding it after, of course, decrypting it. So we can observe that we can say, okay, the higher the K value, the better the anonymity. In the time of Chaum suggested that all users in the internet should use the mixed network. So, of course, you can say if you have in the internet 10,000 users, then it would be K is equal to 10,000. But at the moment, if you use the internet or if you look at the internet, you have millions of users, and you cannot just say K should be 1,000,000 or more than 1,000,000. Then such intermediate such a mixed network could not work. So this is a big problem. And on the other hand, you have to say that K has to be as big as high as possible. So K anonymity here from for you is suggested by Sweeney, not by Chaum. Chaum has the terminology of anonymity set, also the set size. So set size would be here 5, and Chaum has not suggested K anonymity, but I will use the terminology as I taught you. So just one slide for how the Chaum mix is working. Chaum mix is working like that. So here with K equals to 3, Alice is here again, and we have the internet in the middle, and every sender prepare recursively a message to the first mix and to the second mix, and then if the messages are prepared properly, right here, then they can forward it, and the flow is like that. As you see, the color of the messages changes, and I used here as a symbol the letter. I will show it why I have used the letter symbol, and the order of the messages has changed. So the incoming order is changed, the outgoing order, because it will randomly sorted here, and also in the second message too. So I choose a message. Of course, Alice wants to send a message to Bob with the letter, I love you. So we have to prepare, so Alice has to first prepare the blue letter. So that means she will encrypt with the public key of Bob this love letter, and this would be this one, right? This is the encryption as a symbol, and now Alice takes the public key of the second mix, right? And so we have this one. If it is encrypted here, then Alice takes the public key of the second mix and puts the blue letter in a green letter and encrypts it. Then we have this letter, and then she will use the public key of the first mix and encrypt the message by putting it in this letter, and now you have the red letter. So this is recursive encryption, and this encrypting methodology is also used as a scheme also in Tor. But the Chaum, as I told you, does more. It just collects a number of messages, so 3 messages, right? And then decrypts it. So it decrypts it and finds here the in the mix the green letter, and also decrypts these messages and find the blue and this yellow letter, and changes the order and forwards it. right? And every mix has to ensure that behind these messages a real person, not a fake person, is there, right? So what are the properties of the charm? So again, we look at the charm mix providing K anonymity and using the anonymity, the mix, and we can just say the K value is important. The higher the K value, the better the anonymity. And K anonymity ensured by the mix, because the mix has the task to collect a number of messages, right? Not Alice, right? Not the users. The mix just waits until it gets 5 messages from 5 distinct users. And one property is if K minus 1 users are cooperating, right, then the flow or the packet of the Alice is not secure anymore. Because if the attacker controls the cover traffic, right, then the attacker can see also the because it controls or it made the packets, it can identify his own packets here and can identify the Alice packet. So therefore, it is really important that the mix requires or has some functionality like AAA. Not the third part, not the accounting part, but the authentication and authorization part. That means the mix has some functionality that has to be identified, the Alice, that it is a real user, and then authorize it that and can forward it. Otherwise, if the attacker controls the cover, then the system is insecure. Okay, and the last part is it is hard for Alice to predict the end-to-end delay, because it's asynchronous communication. Mix waits until it collects a number of messages, so that here K 5 messages. Alice does not know how long she has to wait until 5 messages will arrive the mix, right? So, and if you follow the internet protocols, then you have this KISS property. The KISS property is against this mix idea. Why? Because within the mix you have many properties, like you ensure that authorization and authentication, and you have also further properties of replaying some messages and other things, but I will not go in this direction. So you have many properties there. Therefore, here you have the intelligence within the mix, right? Mix has to do something. But the internet property KISS, keep it simple and stupid, means the internet protocol should be designed like that, that the mix itself should be really simple, should not have such functionalities, such security functionalities like authorization or authentication. So this is also a problem. And as I told you, K equals to 5 is too low. If you want to have real security, then K has to be really high, like 1,000 or 10,000, right? And then the protocol has many weaknesses in that area. So therefore, you will find many suggestions in that area, right? You will find suggestions like Babel mix or crowds and whatever. And the point what I would like to tell you and what I did here is just going back and think about the protection strength. And that the point was just go to the cryptography. The cryptography, if you just look at the symmetric and asymmetric crypto systems, then and then ask yourself, please, what is the maximum security what you can achieve with symmetric encryption? Of course, if you just one-time pad, if you use one-time pad, then you have the perfect secrecy, right? But you know, this is really difficult to deploy it because key exchange is really, really difficult there, right? Because the messages and the keys has the same length. And to exchange the keys, you need a secure channel. So it is also a kind of hard to deploy it. And therefore, we have the asymmetric crypto systems. Therefore, you need a one-way function, but you have weaker security. This is probabilistic security. You will not achieve perfect secrecy. So, but the deployability is easier, right? And the key question for me was, can we identify a similar structure in the area of anonymity? Is there any similarity there? And then, yes, I just define it. Why not? Right? So first, I show you the Chow mix. The Chow mix requires double E or triple E. So the double E, this is the authentication and authorization. And I have not proven it, but you can just go to the work of Andreas Fitzmann, also Chow himself. Therefore, I just put their star there. But in the work of Andreas Fitzmann, he has provide some security proof there that you can achieve there if you implement it really directly with in a closed environment with small number of users. You can provide perfect anonymity. And this must be a little bit odd for you because the mixed technique uses asymmetric encryption, public key encryption, right? But we use here in anonymity the Dolev-Yao model. And Dolev-Yao model does not consider the cryptography. The crypto primitive is secure itself. You just say that the network is insecure. And if you apply their Chow mix in a small environment, in a closed environment, and have the AAA and all the stuff that Chow mix has suggested, then it provides perfect anonymity. But in the open environment, in the internet, it is hard to deploy it, right? It is hard to deploy it. The K is not identified, and the asynchronous communication is hard to implement it. End-to-end delay is not known, and also the AAA is not easy to implement there. And therefore, we need a new mix. And maybe we should find a one-way function in a security cryptographic protocol. And we just go from the perfect to probabilistic security. And we hope that we have a more deployable mix. Okay, now if we go to the area of defining some security, then I have to be clear in what I mean with probabilistic security. So probabilistic security or probabilistic crypto, I took it from Birgit Fitzmann. It is just in her PhD thesis like that for some parameters k and n should be bigger than so n should be bigger than some given number, and this n0 is key length or the hardness of the problem, right? Then the probability that the attacker breaks the system, that means factorizes it or decrypts it at whatever, is smaller than n minus above key, right? This is the exponential or the super polynomial thing that you just can provide. Well, then go ahead and define something similar. The probability alpha of an observable event is just Alice communicates to Bob, is given, and the probability is alpha. So, right, we say the system is, of course, breakable, but following this crypto stuff, we just say that the anonymization protocol has a system parameter, like this public key parameter, or the length, mu, whose linear change results that this alpha, this insecurity, converges exponentially to 0. So we have to prove that. So we have to find a mixed protocol that is better deployable and provides probabilistic anonymity. And we have suggested there the stop and go mix. And now I just show you why I think that stop and go mix provides probabilistic anonymity. So the protocol is like that. And if you just want to read it, this is the publication there. I have done it in my PhD thesis. So it is like that Alice now sends a message to the stop and go mix. This is just the nut. And it follows this protocol. Alice draws a random number t from an exponential distribution with parameter mu. And this is the publicly known parameter mu. This is known to the attacker, but this is known to all users in the internet. Okay? And follows the encryption scheme like Tor, also like Chaum, right? This is, so the message is recursively encrypted. So that means letter in letter and letter in letter or whatever, right? And this message comes to SGMix. SGMix opens the letter, finds the inner letter, and finds the number t. That number t is a time information for the SGMix E. After the time t has elapsed, right? Then SGMix forwards the message. That's all. As you see, this message is not dependent from other messages. It has to just wait this time units. So that means K anonymity is not ensured, right? K anonymity is not ensured because SGMix does not collect a number of messages or K messages. It just waits the time t for one message, that the messages are individually delayed. That means that it could happen that the message of Alice arrives as SGMix and there is no other messages in the SGMix, just delayed from the SGMix, right? That means that the SGMix is empty and it waits t times, and then the SGMix forwards it. Then this case would be insecure case, and this would be the alpha and the insecurity. Okay, on the other hand, the end-to-end delay can be predicted. Why? Because Alice sends the message. So Alice has to calculate the propagation time to the SGMix, and she has specified the waiting time, this is the term t time, in the SGMix. So therefore, she can predict the end-to-end. Now we have to find the one-way function, right? What is the memoryless prop? And this is the memoryless property. So what is the one-way function? So this is the protocol, and all that protocol, as I told you, I have to prove. And for the proof, I need a different mathematics than as known from the crypto. I have to use the queuing theory. Queuing theory, that means arrival rate is lambda, and we have a queue. This is infinite queue, and mu is the mean waiting time. And mu is known from everyone because everyone uses this mu, because all numbers are thrown from this exponential distribution with the parameter mu. That means every packet, every message waits in the mean with the parameter mu. So this is ensured. Okay, just look at the memoryless property. Why I think this there is a one-way function here. It is a really simple one-way function. It is like that. So Alice sends a message, right? And this message will be in SG-mix, and the SG-mix, so the time R, so R time is elapsed, and a second message arrives. So this message is already R times here. A new message arrives here, and assume that the SG-mix was empty before. That means we have only two messages, right? And the question is, if the attacker observes this, even though the attacker knows that this message arrived R times before, prior than this green packet, can the attacker say something about that? And then, after t seconds, one message will be, so in this case, forwarded from the SG-mix. And the question is this red the green one or the green one? And then we just go to the memoryless property because it is an exponential distribution, and the exponential distribution says even though the packet has waited R times, it doesn't matter. The waiting time does not matter. This is the memoryless property. That means all packets waiting here has the same probability, right? The green one and the green one has this kind. So this red one has this probability that could be the green one or the green one because of this memoryless property. So then,
but hocam, that's true only given that the second packet arrives before the first one leaves. I mean, if the second one arrives before the first one leaves, that's right, but it may not be granted.
Exactly. So this is the simple thing that I just want to demonstrate what I mean with the memoryless property, right? So this is for the sake of simplicity. But if you just consider a stop and G-mix, then it is like that, right? Just go for not a simple case, just go for a normal case. That means you have arriving rate 10 packets per second at the stop and go mix, right? And mu is 0.2. That means mean delay of each packet is 5 seconds, right? So that means what is the, so if you just want to go really in the direction of the security proof, then you have to just prove this one. The security here, or the insecurity maybe, is that one. This is exponential function of lambda divided by mu. And if you change mu linearly, then the security increases also exponentially. And this is a definition that we have given in our definition of probabilistic security. And if you just say, okay, maybe you have given the case that one message arrives and the message leaves the stop and go mix, but you know, but the stop and go mix is empty, right? And I would like to know what is the mean number of the messages, mean number of messages that we have considered. This is the mean number of the K anonymity that we have to consider according to our definition of anonymity set. And if you just go in the queuing theory, in mean, there are lambda divided by mu messages. And this is here, if you just lambda divided by mu, it is just 50 messages in the server, in the stop and go mix. But you have to consider also all the messages that arrived before, right? And also after the message of Alice. And if you just consider this, then the K anonymity increases to lambda divided by mu as an exponential function, right? So there, it is really, really high value of K anonymity. So as I told you, if you just give 10 arrival rate and 5 seconds mean delay, then you have the security of E power of 50 and the number of something 10 of power of 22 of K anonymity. And
Hocam, do you have many more slides?
yes, I have.
Okay, because
we want to have the proof, I think.
Oh, we are over 1 hour now, so
just a moment. Yeah, then I will be quickly go. So you just
it may be
can
good
say
to conclude in maybe 5 minutes or so, if you can.
Yeah, I will do it. I will do it. So I will just not give the Earth's remaining lifespan about how many messages find our empty stop and go mix. It would be like that, right? And if you the stop and go mix was taken from the audience just in the area of anonymity, and they have analyzed the delaying packets individually. That is this exponential mix. It is analysis has proved that the optimal strategy, that it will be optimal in that publication. And then you have the going in 21, this kind of papers you will find that provides the probabilistic anonymity of the stop and go mix. So not only I have worked on that, so this is our further works, and our continuous stop and go mix provable secure, and this is also a much new work here if you just want to go in that direction. And there was also a European project. I was not involved in that. They have used the basic idea of the exponential mix. So this is the exponential delay and whatever. They have implemented it. It is called Loopix. And after that, Loopix has a practical design. It is a product. It is the NUM. They had, if you just go to the NUM-TechNet, it is, they have the property having a crypto Sphinx packet format. They use the stop and go mix. They call it their Poisson mix. And and they have this different topology and whatever, so you can use it there. So coming back to my stuff, is this everything true? Well, we have worked on that. The bad part is that we cannot hold this, unfortunately, because of one reason. If you just go to the basic model of charm, going back, even though if your mix is really strong in the anonymity set size, so the K is really high, right? But all people that are sending a message to the mix would be from a CIA agent, right? To some agent Smith, then you have a problem with that you know that one agent is communicating with another agent, and this already gives some information to you about the location of your agent and whatever. So the higher the K value, the better anonymity is not true. So we have to, it depends of the combination of senders, of the security depends on that. So what about uncoordinated use of anonymity and hope for diversity? This is insecure again. We have found the disclosure attacks there. We need something like L diversity there. So that means the traffic structure has to be investigated. So we have a knowledge gap that how to group the systems. So, and how to experiment with that. So maybe we have an application area where it might be good to apply there. And how to choose the mu. So good, this is all. So that technical approach to step and go mix, that means we have the theory of light-white mix, better than nothing. This is the TOR. So in practice, provide a practical anonymity, but we cannot provide any proof there. We have a theory about stop and go mix, and it is a good candidate for probabilistic security. But unfortunately, the old proofs with probabilistic security holds only on the paper. We have in practice a company just applying the stop and go mix as NUM. So the core idea of the stop and go, and then we have to expand it with the L diversity. We have the kind of privacy paradox. There is a social problem here. There is a lack of social cultural acceptance. There have to be a lot of to do there. Extension of that anonymity stuff has to be accepted there. I gave you the example of the honorable citizen from Venice, and from there we can learn how to punish misbehaving and to bring it in a technical part. And this is also a future work, I think. And I'm sorry that it took 1 hour.
But, thank you, Hocam. This was very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now time for questions. And Doğan Hocam, you'll have time, of course, to talk about your PhD positions. Before that, do we have any questions from the audience?
Yes, please.
I can ask one. I mean, have you checked I2P network? I2P,
Pardon?
which is a more secure alternative to Tor. You know, in that case, the relays they create, if there is not sufficient traffic to hide the data, then the relays create bogus packages and protect against traffic analysis.
Yeah, there should be enough, if I understood you like that, just a moment, you say...
I2P is I and 2 as a number and P, I2P protocol. It's an alternative to Tor. And they have running relays and software on the internet. It is not as common as Tor.
Yeah, the proof, I don't know if they have a proof
I don't think
there.
so. I don't think they have a proof.
And there are many suggestions there. Yes, that's true. Some suggestions are there just putting Chaum's mix, implementing it, or putting some extra delays within the mix, right?
Yeah.
If you just go back, but they have no proofs there, and I think with my suggestion here, having such a target like a probabilistic security that I would like to achieve. I think I have not done it, but we have a good candidate, and I can demonstrate what I mean with one-way function and what I mean with deployability, because end-to-end delay is possible to calculate from the sender. Because, you know, the packets are, or the mixed system, the anonymity is much more transparent for the sender, and many other properties, right? And that's my thing. Yeah.
Tamam hocam. Thank you. Other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, hocam.
Tamam, go
Yes,
ahead,
please.
please.
Yeah. Thanks for the presentation first. I wonder if, I mean, if a stop and go mix is malicious, and maybe let's not call it malicious, maybe weird, let's say.
Yes,
Of
course.
how about this case? A malicious and stop and go mix does not follow the time parameter inside the packages.
Yeah, that's a good question. As you see here, I have not. It is not the full protocol I have, so that I present you here. I just have a one stop and go mix with the number I. So as I shown you with the Tor protocol, and I told you that we follow the encryption scheme of Chaum's encryption scheme, and Tor also follows the Chaum's encryption scheme. The Chaum's encryption scheme, as also Tor's encryption scheme, says that you have to use several mixes, several intermediary nodes, several Tor nodes, and I would say we have to use several stop and go mix. And security property is there with Chaum is that one mix has to be honest, and all others could be corrupt. Then the system should provide full privacy, full anonymity, and this holds also here. I'm just saying, I'm just picking one stop and go mix here, and I assume that all stop and go mix prior to that and after that are corrupt, right?
Mm-hmm. Thanks. Maybe one more question. Maybe not for this stop and go mix structure. Maybe it's a question for general Tor network or anonymous networks. I wonder, as far as I understand, the sender decides the path of nodes that he wants to send. Let's say Alice wants to send a message to Bob, and she decides which nodes should encrypt its message sequentially, right? And how about one of them, maybe the third one, collapsed during this communication?
Okay.
Is there any solution for that? I mean, are there any topological solutions? I mean, maybe one node is communicated with multiple nodes inside of just one.
Yeah, that's okay. So that means this is just safety, or what you would say. It does not work anymore, right? So here we have two mixes in the middle. That means the last one would collapse, so it would not work anymore, right? And then three messages are coming here, and then there is a protocol and work from Andreas Fitzmann. It is called reverse mixes, I think. So that there are some works on that.
But I mean, the messages are encrypted by Alice's. Alice encrypted them.
Yeah,
right?
Alice encrypts her message, and this is the red message here, and this message would go from here to that, and from here to the green one, and will arrive here.
And the collapsed one, yeah.
And then this collapse, and then it will stop there. That means you need an extra protocol if this collapses, right? There's some safety protocols that people have worked on that. If you are
Does this mean that the previous one, I mean the last alive node should encrypt the node again and send the another alive node?
Oh, so this okay. If this mix encrypts it and forwards it again, you mean?
Or another node?
To
Not
another.
necessarily the same one.
Yeah, yeah, you can do it. Of course, this is a suggestion of bubble mix somehow. They are re-encrypting it. So re-encryption is done there. And some of them are also delaying it randomly in these nuts and sending over several other intermediary nodes, right? To the last one, for instance, right? So,
Yes.
and then the question is, well, you know, the point is just then the Alice does not know what happened to her message, right? So the red one now, because this not just put additional delay to that, put additional something to that. And if this knot is corrupt, for instance, right? This knot says just, I will just delay the message of Alice, right? And Alice will not know it. What was the reason? Because it is part of the protocol, right? And you can have the delay attack like that, that this mix waits until two cooperating attackers work with this attacker and then forwards it the message of Alice. This is called N-1 attack, something like that.
Yeah, maybe something like a verifiable delay function can be used there to prevent this kind of attacks.
You can just put more, yes, you can put this property within the encryption. That means that this, so Alice get this message, right? And no,
Something like time lock puzzles, right? You mean time lock puzzles?
Yeah.
Timed encryption.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can do that, but then you will have a problem with so you have to suggest this protocol. I would be happy to discuss it with you. But one property I can just tell it because it is directly in my mind. Then the protocol here within this mix is more complicated.
Yeah, I see. It should be lightweight. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions from the audience? If not, Doğan Hocam, we can listen to you about about the PhD positions you are mentioning.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
okay. So I have a PhD position now, right? And as you see, I'm working not directly in the area of cryptography, but I use cryptography, and I use also cryptography to just go to the side to have a model right here, right? If someone is theoretically interested, so I would love to work with the person in that direction and to make the system more secure. But I have told you also that we are also in the area of practical security, that means within a project, maybe working at the moment we are planning to write, we plan to write a paper, a project proposal in the area of car security. This is IoT security or sensor security. And then if you go in that direction, then you have many, many practical security questions, but also privacy is also a big problem there. So if you are interested to work with me in Germany, yeah, please just write me an email. The salary is really good, I think. It is around 3,000 euro, so you can live with that without any have a different job or something like that. And yeah, if you go in the direction of projects, then you will also meet other people and also other universities and also companies. If you go more theoretically, then it is more in my direction because it is just a hobby of mine to work in that area. If you are more senior, if you have already your PhD, you can also apply for a postdoc position. So this position is, I can use it also for postdoc. Then I think from a postdoc, I expect that this postdoc person has also her or his own ideas to work with me. So that's all. If you have questions to that, please, come back to me.
Evet hocam. Thank you very much. Teşekkür ederiz Doğan hocam. Sağ olun.
Sağ olun.
Güzel
sağ
bir
olun.
konuşma oldu. Çok teşekkürler. Arkadaşlar katıldığınız için size de teşekkür ederiz. Bir başka SRG toplantısında yeniden görüşmek üzere diyoruz. Doğan hocam Ankara'ya geldiğinizde sizi de bekliyoruz.
Tamam.
Sağ
Görüşmek
olun.
üzere.
Görüşmek
Görüşürüz.
üzere. İyi akşamlar.
İyi akşamlar.